this is the recording for today. All right, so here's where we're at. Some of you may have already done this before. So if you've already done it, apologies for that, but just stick with me because we want to make sure that you have all of the information that you need to have for this class, okay? So what we're doing here is we're doing slope, and today we're finding slope from a graph. Okay? That's our first standard of this new unit is all about slope. Okay, so two things. I'll wait for you to sit down.
I just wanted to sit so
So first thing is we're going to just fill in some vocabulary. The first one is a rate of change. The rate of change is how something changes over time. There we go. Got there. Mine's not bright orange because it's hard to see underneath the screen. Right there. So something like 60 miles per hour is a rate of change because you went 60 miles over the time of 1 hour. So that is miles per hour. That is a rate of change. Slope is how, it's not going to be how something, we are going to use slope for a graph, so the graph of a line. So it's how a graph, and for us that's going to be a line, changes from left to right. Okay, so when it changes, is it going up? Is it going down? And then how fast is it going up or down? So those of you who are writing this down, I super appreciate it. But we got a lot of phones going on across the back there. Got that down? Okay, so of all of the stuff we've written down so far, nope, come back. Come back to me. This next part is the most important part. When you do slope, when we write down the answer for slope, it has to be the y number on top and the x number on bottom. Please put your phone away. Pretty please.
With the cherry on top?
Mm-hmm. So what we are going to do to find the change in y, here's how we're going to find it. We are going to count from one dot to the next. That is what today is all about, counting from one dot to the next dot. And to do that, we are going to rise until we are even with the other dot. So we're going to start at one dot and we're going to rise until we're even with the other dot. And then the second part is called run, rise over run. So this is just common language. If you ask pretty much anybody who's taken Algebra 1, how do you find the slope of a line? They're going to say it's rise over run. Which is very common language that a lot of people use. So rise just means that you're either going to go up or you're going to go down until you are even with the other point, with the other dot. Okay, and then run. Typically when you run, it's this way, right? You're not going up or down any. So it's going to be right or left. Okay, so when we practice this today, we're going to come around and make sure that you all know how to count the slope of a line. If you can't count the slope of a line, you are going to be super confused for the next month. Okay, so we have to make sure you understand what we're doing today. So when we count it, we're going to come around and somebody is going to do right or left first, because you didn't catch this part. When we count, you have to go up or down first. Okay? So let's practice that. We got 2 dots. We have a blue dot, and we have a pink dot. Okay? Which one do you want to start with? You start on the blue one or the pink one?
2 over 2.
You start with the blue one or the pink one?
1 blue.
The blue one? Okay. I like the blue. I heard the blue one first, so we'll start with blue. So, here's what you have to do. You have to get from this dot over to this dot, but you can't cut through anybody's lawn, right? You got to stay on the road. Okay? So, to do this, you have to start at the blue dot, and you have to go either up or down. You have to go up to get even with the pink dot. And then, you have to go over to the pink dot. Okay, how many blocks did you go up?
2.
Up 2, and then how many did you go over?
3.
3. So how do we write this? We write this as slope is the up or down one first on the top of the fraction and the other one on the bottom. Being on your phone means that you already know how to do this, and so you can do the next one for me, right? You can do the next one all by yourself?
Yep.
Okay, go for it. I'm going to label them with colors like I did on the last one. Okay, you want to start with the blue one or the pink one? Blue? Okay.
Does it matter?
Not technically. Okay. So, we start with the blue one. You have to get even with the pink one. Does that mean you're going up or down?
Down.
Down. So you go down until you are even, and then you go over. How far did you go down? How many blocks? 2. Here's where it changes. Okay? Let's see, maybe a 4th time. Make sure you're off your phone so you don't miss this part, because I haven't said this yet. If you go down, it's not positive because you're not rising, right? You're going down. So how am I going to tell you that we're going down? -2. So if you go down, it has to be negative. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 this way. So my fraction is -2 over 4, which reduces -1 over 2. Okay, so when you're doing your practice today, you'll have to reduce to get the answers that are on the sheet.
Why can't you go the other way?
It's a great question. Thank you for asking. Turn the page. You can go the other way.
So I didn't get it wrong.
What did you get?
2 over 4.
Bruh.
One of them should have been negative, but we're going to talk about that. We haven't talked about it yet. So, no, the 4. Probably the 4. Okay, so the question is, why can't I start with the other dot? The answer is you actually can start with the other dot. Okay, so I got 2 dots, right? I got a blue one and a pink one. So far we started with the blue, so let's start with the blue again. Okay, so if I start with the blue, you would go up 1, 2, 3, 4 over 2. So if you go up 4 and right 2, your answer would be 2. Okay?
Because 4 is...
4 divided by 2 is 2. So I just went ahead and divided it. Okay, but the question is, why can't I go the other way? And the answer is you can. Okay, so here we go. If I start at the pink dot, you're with me.
Start at the blue, go to the right, instead of left.
You have to go up and down first. You have to go the up down first. So if I start at the pink dot and I go down, that's -4. So if I go down,
Can we choose which one we want to do?
yes.
Well, on the page before I did start up and down.
Yeah.
And I got 2 over 4, not -2 over 4.
But did you go down?
Because you're going down.
Went
Okay, so then this part right here. So right here, when you go left, okay, let me show you a number line. When you go this way on a number line, the numbers get bigger, right? So if you're going this way, it's positive. If you go this way, it's a negative. So this one right here, we're going to write this down right here. If you go left, you have to tell me negative. You have to tell me negative. So that's why.
So
So you're -4. Your 4 would have been negative.
2 over -4?
Yes.
So it could be either one.
Yeah. Okay, so -4 divided by -2 is a +2. So you can do it either way. Okay, let's take a second and just count the slope on this next one. I don't care how you do it. You can go up and over or you can go down and over, but we should get the same answer regardless of which one we do. So just take a second and count that slope. No matter how you do it, your answer should be a negative and then 1 over 5. Now, should the negative be with the 1? Sure. Should the negative be with the 5? Sure. So one of those numbers has to be negative. Okay? So, did anybody go down first? Down? Okay, that's what I would have done if I were doing it, but it doesn't matter how you do it. So if you go down first, did you go down 1? Okay? So if you count down 1, and then you go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now when we went over 5, we went to the right 5. So if you go to the right, you get to keep your number positive. If you go to the left, you have to make your number negative. Okay? Did anybody go up first? Okay? So if you go up 1, then your 1 is positive. But when you go left, your left is negative. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you have the negative with the 1 on the top or if you have the negative with the 5 on the bottom. Either way, these two answers are the same. Okay. Last part, we have 2 kind of special lines that have special kind of slopes. Okay, so I've got 2 dots right here. Okay, so again, we're counting rise over run. So I rise 1, 2, 3, 4. So I go up 4. Do I go left or right any? No, you just go up. So it's 0. Can you divide by 0?
So it would be 0.
Close. Is it possible to take $4 and divide it among 0 people? No, because even if you say, well, keep the money yourself, well, then that's one person, right, that gets the money. So it's not possible to do it. So what do? Is it okay to divide by 0? No, it's not. There's a little picture down here to help you out. No, it is not okay. And so what do we write? What's the answer? undefined. Okay, give me a drink. So if you have a line that's like this, it's a vertical line, the slope is going to be undefined. So this picture is just to help you out with that. So if it's a 0 on the bottom, that slope is undefined.
So if it's vertical, it's always undefined?
Always. Always, always, always. Great question.
So do you have to write the numbers, or can you just write undefined?
You can just write undefined. Yeah. Okay.
Horizontal.
What if it's horizontal? So if it's horizontal, so there's a picture right here. So we can just put 2 dots here. There's no dots on this one. So this time, we don't rise any, but we do go over. All right, so here's just an example of one. So if I don't go up or down any, so the top number is 0. Can I take $0 and divide it among 2 people?
No.
Yeah, I can. You get 0, and you get 0, and everybody gets 0. So it's actually okay to divide by 0. So can I have a 0 on top? Yep. That is okay. It is okay to have a 0 on top, and your answer, when you have a 0 on top, is 0. So here, our answer is, our slope is 0. So vertical lines are undefined. Horizontal lines have 0 slope. Okay. So we're going to practice this. So the rest of the time you have just to practice this. If you're going to turn the page for me. Yep. Yep, we're going to go, oh, so you don't actually have to turn it. Just look at the next page there. Okay, so when I first did this, I started on the wrong box. So don't start on the wrong box. Start with the box that says start.
Okay.
I started in the corner.
What if I want to start with the one that says end?
You probably could. Just go backwards. But you'd have to actually start with, like, one of them around. You could just guess. See if it works out for you. All right, so we're going to start at the start. Start at this box here. And you're just going to work your way through. What did we say? There's like 16 boxes?
No, actually it was 18.
So if you count and you're working through this worksheet and it takes you 4 boxes to get to the end, you've done it wrong.
It is 16.
It's 16. So 16 boxes to get to the end. So if it only takes you 4 boxes to get to the end, you've done it wrong. All right?
There's only 4 boxes.
Okay. So let's start. We just count up and over. If I were you, I would actually write the slope down on the paper because there's some reducing that has to happen. And so you might get confused as to what the actual answer is. So I said this is up 3 and this is over 5. Okay, so up 3 and over 5 is the fraction 3 over 5. Okay, so that means I need to head this way into this box. Okay. And working your way through.